Hello kids, how are you all? Welcome to another video, and in today's video the first cell organelle which we are going to study is plastids. Plastids are found only in plant cell. Just like the cell wall, the plastids are also found only in plant cells. Now these plastids are of three types. First is leucoplast. Leuco means white or colorless. So if it is not colored, it is not important to us. No, it's very important. It helps in the storage of things. It is used to store. Storage of what? Storage of lipids, proteins, whatever is formed in the cell, it is stored here. So it is not colorful, it doesn't mean it is not important. So the first plastid is leucoplast. Leuco means white or colorless. The next plastid is chromoplast. Chromo means color. So the entire beautiful earth which is filled with the lovely colors red, yellow, orange, pink, all the shades of red in fact, in the flowers and in the fruits are because of this chloroplast. So they give color to flowers and fruits. All the beautiful lovely flowers which you see, they are colored because of these chromoplast. The third and the most important plastid is chloroplast. Chloro word comes from chlorophyll. Remember, since small classes, primary classes, you have been studying about a pigment chlorophyll, which helps in photosynthesis. That chlorophyll is found here in the chloroplast. So the green pigment chlorophyll is found where? In the chloroplast. Now this chloroplast structure is a simple yet very important complicated structure at the same time. Now this chloroplast is again a double membrane bag-like structure, sac-like structure, double membrane. Till now most of the organelles are double membrane. Chloroplast is also double membrane. We have studied only one organelle, ribosome, which had no membrane. So chloroplast also is a double membrane structure. It has a fluid inside, some fluid, not a jelly-like like cytoplasm, it's more watery. This fluid is called stroma. The fluid in the chloroplast is known as stroma, and inside this chloroplast, in the stroma, there are some stack-like things. Certain discs are stacked together. Just like you stack your notebooks one on top of the other, in the same way the discs are stacked and they are connected to each other. Alright, so the discs are all stacked and they are connected to each other. These discs, the entire stack, this whole stack is known as grana. Singular granum, plural grana. So there are, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, suppose 6 grana, but 1 granum. So they are grana, stacks of discs lying where? In the stroma. And these grana, a single disc is called thylakoid. One single disc in the grana stack is called thylakoid, and on this thylakoid is our pretty green color pigment chlorophyll present. The work of chlorophyll you have been mugging up right from primary classes. It captures solar energy for the process of photosynthesis. The same photosynthesis because of which life is possible on earth. We get food because of photosynthesis, we get oxygen because of photosynthesis, and this chlorophyll is found in this chloroplast. On one thylakoid there can be up till 230 chlorophyll molecules. Just imagine that small tiny size. Cell itself is so small, inside that chloroplast is small. In that Thylakoid is so small, and on top of that little tiny thylakoid, there can be up till 230 chlorophyll molecules. What a world God has created. Chloroplast has its own DNA and ribosome, just like mitochondria. The same way, chloroplast also has its own DNA. A very important question, that which two organelles apart from nucleus have their own DNA, that is chloroplast and mitochondria. The next cell organelle is Golgi bodies. In the year 1898, there was a scientist by the name of Camillo Golgi. Now, back in those days, electron microscope was not there, and Camillo Golgi was studying about cell by his staining technique. Staining means coloring. He was using certain chemicals to stain the cell, and while staining, he saw that the cytoplasm has some tiny thread-like structures, but they were hardly visible through his simple microscope. Electron microscope was not there. Later on, when electron microscope was developed, then these structures were clearly seen, and to honor Camillo Golgi, those tiny structures were named after him, and they are known as Golgi bodies. Now, these Golgi bodies are double membrane, and they are stacks of discs, long discs. All the things are double membrane. So there are certain discs, and there are some backdrop like structures. These are also double membrane. Now these discs, the flat discs, they are called cisternae, whereas these drops, they are called vesicles. Now these Golgi bodies, they act like a post office. So let us write here post office. We have studied the cell has powerhouse, mitochondria, cell has kitchen, chloroplast. Now cell also has a post office, which is Golgi bodies. So these Golgi bodies, they just act like post office. Whenever you have to send some letter or some parcel to some place, you go to a post office, you deposit it, and the postman delivers. So the things are brought here, stored, packaged, and stored in fact in cisternae, and then these vesicles act as the postman. They deliver the things to certain places. Now what all has to be packed? Mainly the things which are formed in the cell, like lipids, starch, protein, whatever is formed, it is packaged nicely and then transported through these vesicles. So the first function is packaging and storage, packaging and transportation. And the second very important function is lysosome formation. Lysosome is a cell organelle, the next organelle which we will be studying. So they help in lysosome formation. A very small tiny organelle which was not even visual, which was not even seen till electron microscope was made, and it helps in the transportation of things inside the cell. And a very important function, lysosome formation. So let us move to the next cell organelle, which is lysosome. Lysosomes are single membrane structures. They have only one membrane. Ribosome had no membrane. Lysosome has one membrane. They have one membrane because they have digestive enzymes inside them. Now, whenever a cell is damaged or some parasite like bacteria, fungi, something enters the cell and is destroying it, these digestive enzymes, they are released. The single membrane ensures that the lysosome bursts open and the digestive enzyme is sprayed inside the cell. Now, when the enzyme is sprayed, the cell will dissolve. So, the cell dissolves and we are saved from any diseases. So, a very important cell organelle which destroys itself to protect us. and because it is destroying itself, this cell organelle is called the suicide bag of the cell. Whenever the cell has to destroy itself because of damage, or it has got torn or something damage, somehow some infestation has occurred, the lysosomes will break open their single membrane. That is why they have single membrane. If it will be double membrane, it will be difficult to break, and if there will be no membrane, the digestive enzyme will be all around in the cell, and the cell for no reason will get destroyed. So it is having one membrane. Everything has a reason. Apart from this, there is one more important function of lysosome. During the process of fertilization, when the sperm has to enter the egg cell, now the egg has a membrane outside it. How will the poor sperm enter the egg inside? So the lysosome present on the sperm head will dissolve the egg membrane. When this egg membrane dissolves, the sperm easily enters the egg during fertilization. So imagine lysosome, such a tiny little thing and so very important. I hope you have understood the three important cell organelles that we have studied today. They are completely in alignment with your new NCERT science textbook explorations. I hope you have understood them. We'll meet you next in the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care and keep studying.